Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, David here, and welcome back to another Atlas news episode. Now, I did two Persona 5 The Phantom X videos very recently. I made a video last week talking about the state of the game, the fact that people are quitting the game, and it's a big mess right now, unfortunately, for this game. And yesterday, I made a video talking about my opinion on the game, the fact that I'm still playing it, but the more that I play it, the harder it gets to like it. For stuff that I talked about in the first video and stuff that I didn't. Now, today, we have an update, an official update from the official Persona5x.com website. So we have an update for the English global version of the game. If you have not seen my video from last week, I highly recommend you check it out before watching today's video. The link's gonna be in the description. But people were complaining, people were quitting the game for one reason specifically, or at least one main reason, and it's the fact that the treatment that us, fans of the game, fans of the English and global versions of the game, we're not getting the same treatment by the devs that the other players are getting, people that got the game before us, the version of the game that isn't the global and English version. And now we have an official update that just dropped. There's some good stuff, so let's get right into it. But before we do, if you didn't know, my name's David. I run this YouTube channel. My goal is to be the #1 place for Atlas news on YouTube. I think I'm in a good place here. So if you enjoyed the content, a thumbs up helps. And if you want to stay up to date on all things Atlas, please consider a subscription. Now let's get into it. If you want to check out the news page yourself, it's going to be linked in the video description, as always, with my sources. Here we are. A letter from Persona 5 The Phantom X operations team. Greeting thieves, thank you for your patience and ongoing support. Since launch this past June, we've received a significant amount of player feedback. We've heard your feedback, and while some aspects haven't met expectations, we're committed to making meaningful improvements. Now, all of these complaints we went over in, again, video from last week, so check that out. But a lot of people bombed the reviews on mobile, on the Apple Store, on the Google Play Store, on Steam, like extremely negative reviews from players talking about all that stuff, and that's exactly what they're addressing here. In this letter, we hope to answer your questions and concerns based on the feedback we have received so far, especially regarding the differences with the Chinese and Asian versions, the contract systems, as well as shed some lights on future updates. As a note, we will be referring to Phantom Thieves and Phantom Idols as characters in this letter. Ooh, so they're really going all in. So hey, we're not going to waste your time. We've heard your complaints. There's differences between China, Asian version, contract system. We'll talk about that. You complained about updates. We'll talk about that. So far, so good. I'm reading this for the first time, by the way. Let's keep going. Implementation of a new contract system. The contract system being the way that you earn new characters. Okay. We have received a lot of requests to implement the contracts that guarantees the most wanted 5-star character that is in the Chinese Asian versions, and we are currently considering its implementation for the Japanese and Western versions as well. Now, we are currently considering, I don't like that. It should straight up be, we are going to do that. We are going to make sure to implement the same system that people in Japan are getting. So kind of a, not in Japan, in China, I'm sorry. I think it's a mess. But they're considering it. Let's hope that they reach a good conclusion, or the right conclusion, I should say. The current main contract systems, please see the in-game contract rates page for more details. If you didn't obtain a 5-star from the previous 79 draws, the next draw guarantees a 5-star. So for example, me, right now, I am trying to get Yusuke in my game. I have 75 draws out of 80. What they're saying is at 80, I'm guaranteed to get a 5-star, whether it's Yusuke or another of the 5-star in that bunch, if there is one. If a not most wanted 5-star Phantom Thief was obtained, the next 5-star you obtain is guaranteed to be the most wanted 5-star. Okay, please note that some contracts like the newcomer contracts and arms deals have a different system. The new contract systems that will be implemented. Please wait for future announcements for future details. If you didn't obtain a 5-star from the previous 109 draws, the next draw guarantees a 5-star. The 5-star you obtain is guaranteed to be the most wanted 5-stars. Okay? Implementation period and other notes. In the Chinese Asian versions, this contract was implemented 6 months after release. For the Japanese Western versions, we are currently making adjustments in order to release it earlier. After the release of this new contract system, the current contract system will also continue to be made available. However, please note that the number of draws until the guaranteed 5-star is counted separately between the two contract systems. The two contract systems have different rates and draw accounts, so please check the details once it's implemented, blah, blah, blah. So they're doing a new contract system. That's the way of doing things. More chances to get these characters. To me, I'm a practical person, so I'm going to have my hands on it to see how it works. So far, I don't hate it. I think it sounds decent. We'll have to wait and see. Minami Miyashita's Cognite. Ooh, that was a lot. That was a little hard to say for me. And 5-star weapons. In the Chinese Asia versions, players were able to obtain Minami and 5-star weapon from Luffy's Business Plan 3 and 4 respectively. In the Japanese Western versions, Plan 3 and 4 were implemented earlier compared to the Chinese Asia versions. In the Chinese and Asia versions, Minami was already available in the gold ticket contracts when Plan 3 and 4 were implemented. So again, way easier to get this character through contracts in Asia versus us. They're straight up saying it here, so they're aware. They know that we know. As a result, there is a difference in the rewards for Plan 3 and 4 between the two versions. We are very sorry for this inconvenience. For the Japanese Western versions, we plan to provide a new method for players to obtain the Cognite and weapon. We are preparing a special campaign that will also benefit those who obtain the duplicates of Minami and her weapon. The details for this campaign will be in the latter half of this letter. The one thing that I think is a little odd with everything that they're sharing is, why not make it the same? I think it's kind of easy. Like, hey, in Japan, in English, you're not getting the same thing with China and Asia. We're going to make sure you get the same thing. That would have been, look, if it works for them, why wouldn't it work for us, you know? Addition of new characters to the gold ticket contracts. Okay, that sounds good, because again, gold tickets, way easier to get. You get a lot of them in the game. We have received a lot of feedback and requests regarding the addition of new characters to the Phantom Idol Draft X, which uses gold tickets. In the Chinese Asia versions, some 5-star Phantom Idols, including the ones listed below, were added to the Phantom Idol Draft X immediately after their most wanted period. In the Japanese Western versions, we plan to add them roughly 6 months after the initial release. Among the characters that appear in the game up to version 1.4, the Phantom Idols will be added to the Phantom Idol Draft X are as follows: Minami, Yumi Shina, each character's 5-star weapon as well. Yeah, I mean, they are really addressing some of the issues, but I'm looking at there is still a lot. There is still a lot to go through, but I'm going to skim through what's interesting here. Frequency of new characters and free rewards. We have received feedback saying that due to the speed of updates, it is difficult for players to save up contracts currency such as tickets and coins. Obtaining tickets, platinum and gold and millicoins. We have prepared multiple avenues for players to obtain contracts, currency, tickets, and coins, such as through login rewards and by playing through the content. We plan to release a large-scale update with a version 2.0 in September. To celebrate this update, players will be able to obtain 20 platinum tickets and 20 platinum millicoins through the login bonus. We are planning to hold many other campings as well. The details are in the latter half of this letter and will be announced at a later date. The rest is a lot of specific things, so I'm going to go directly to the closing words. Thank you very much for reading all the way to the end. We wanted to use this letter as an opportunity to address feedback regarding the differences with the Chinese Asian versions that were released from earlier, as well as let players know about the upcoming updates and campaigns. New initiatives with the Japanese Western versions. In this letter, we hope to answer some of the feedback regarding the differences with the Chinese Asia versions and tell you about some of the plans, updates, and campaigns that are unique to the Japanese Western versions. We've noticed that many Japanese Western players are progressing through the palaces and story in one continuous playthrough, and smaller things like building characters, city life, activities, and characters' interactions are reserved for shorter daily sessions. We hope to enhance our players' experience with some form of change or growth in their daily play through these new initiatives. We talked about Luffy's Business Plan X, improvements to the Thief's Cognitive Shards, and gift campaigns in this letter. We will continue to make improvements following feedbacks to better match the playstyle of our players in Japan Western versions. We will continue to communicate with our players on our website, X, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The future. We are currently preparing initiatives that will release around the same time for both Japanese Western versions and the Chinese Asia versions. Preparations are currently underway so that we can provide a new gameplay experience to all regions seamlessly. Please look forward to future announcements. In addition to the campaigns and features details in this letter, we plan to have various events, story additions with new updates. So there is a ton of information to digest. The one thing that they really understood is, hey, the differences in contracts, the differences in how you earn Phantom Thieves and Phantom Idols is rough. People are really bummed out that they're not getting the same treatment, and understandably so. There is other complaints that were not necessarily addressed, but I think this is a very good first step where Atlus and Perfect World Games, Dark Horse, they're saying like, hey, we know we're not treating you the same way as other people. Here's our solutions, here's our plans, and we also plan to improve our communication. So stuff like this later on their side, we should expect more from them. Man, the fans were about to send them a calling card at this point. Like, people were mad. Like, if you check that out, that first video, people were really mad. I think they're doing a lot of things to fix it. My video from yesterday still stands, where I have issues with that game itself specifically, but I think this will help people who enjoy the game a little more than I do keep playing it. You know, for me, I'm playing it right now. This is gonna help me enjoy it a little bit more. I don't know how long I'm still gonna play it, but I think this is great news. They are hearing us. Your voices were heard. This does not happen all the time, and I'm happy to report that this was the case today. So this is great news right before the weekend. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you so much for watching with me today. Again, if you liked it, a thumbs up is always a big help. Have a great day, y'all. Thanks for watching.